Sugary sweet greeting cards, a dozen red roses, and a candlelit dinner. Such are the physical niceties of Valentine's Day. Yet what makes that handwritten note so special, that bouquet of flowers so romantic, or that gourmet meal just so heartfelt? We will examine those questions for a classic Valentine's Day offering, chocolate, and see that this caffeinated confection owes its amorous symbolism to cultural beliefs. With its somewhat mythical status as an aphrodisiac, a product of its traditional Mesoamerican roots, and historic European perceptions. Sophie and Michael Cox traced chocolate's first human rendezvous with the Olmec people nearly 3 millennia ago. Successive Mesoamerican civilizations would use it for things ranging from burial to currency, but cocoa's most celebrated use remained as a beverage, especially for betrothal and marriage ceremonies. Marcy Norton states that the Mayan interpretation of the words "to serve chocolate" denoted an invitation from one family to another to discuss marriage over drinks. And indeed, given liquid chocolate's likeness to blood, Norton affirms that the beverage symbolized the blood flowing between intermarried families. As such, it is through these rituals that chocolate gained associations with union and with partnership. However, none of these original significances are overtly sexual, and given the often arranged nature of historical marriages, love probably wasn't a key factor. Indeed, chocolate's infamous bawdiness would develop with the arrival of Europeans in the New World and chocolate's transatlantic migration to the motherland. According to Meredith Drace and Sharon Greenhill, chocolate entered the European mindset as a curative, with 16th century Spaniards describing its multiple healing qualities, which included boosting the probability of conception and reversing impotence. These assertions came from observations of the Mesoamericans' own uses for cocoa. According to Norton, it is also through these perhaps misinterpreted observations that chocolate's aphrodisiacal prowess was first noted. In an eyewitness account of an Aztec emperor banquet, Conquistador Bernal Diaz noticed how, quote, "from time to time they brought him some cups of fine gold, with a certain drink made from cocoa which they said was for success with women." End quote. However, Sophie and Michael Cox dismissed this claim as dubious at best, calling the search for aphrodisiacs a Spanish obsession of the time. The account nonetheless titillated imaginations back in Europe. Indeed, by the 17th century, Henry Stubb, the well-documented physician to King Charles II, expressed similar affirmations in his oft-quoted piece of literary quackery, the 1682 Natural History of Coffee, Tea, Chocolate, and Tobacco. In it, he praises the great use of chocolate in venery, and for supplying the testicles with balsam or sap. As Paul Richardson notes, when preparing chocolate for the king, Henry Stubb usually added a double dose of cocoa. With Charles II's notoriety as a philandering monarch, perhaps his good doctor felt an additional supply of royal sap was indeed appropriate. However, the basis for these perceptions seem misinformed. For instance, as Cabazon, Barriga, and Gravetti note, the Inquisition in Mesoamerica saw chocolate as heretical, because its viscosity, flavor, and color allowed for effective concealment of menstrual blood, excrement, pubic hairs, and other ingredients, constituting New World love potions. Indeed, many sought counsel from famous sorceresses when preparing bewitched concoctions to feed ex-lovers, other spouses, and even family members. However, in these cases, it's not the chocolate itself endowed with the mystical sexual qualities, but nevertheless its use in seduction made cocoa and sexuality inseparable in the European mind. According to Diana Pucciarelli, 19th century bonbon advertisements reinforced this promiscuous relation, with one jingle boldly serenading, "'Twill make old women young and fresh, create new motions of the flesh, cause them long for you-know-what, if they but taste chocolate." However, chocolate does contain phenylethylamine, a substance believed to arouse positive emotions and feelings of pleasure in the body, sentiments associated with love and sex. But as Paul Richardson notes, though this compound could serve as a chemical basis for chocolate's lusty reputation, other foods like cheese and salami contain even higher levels of phenylethylamine, but ham and Swiss sandwiches are hardly reputed for their sensuality. As such, chocolate's eroticism ultimately originates from something cultural, something so entrenched in the story of humankind that chocolate's salacious side has become widely accepted as truth. We observe this phenomenon in the perpetuation of ancient meaning, with the tamer Mesoamerican traditions and the more provocative European beliefs continuing to shape our understandings of chocolate.